there are two things that I enjoy in life quite a lot. One of them is Masters of the Universe, of course, and the other one is The Lord of the Rings. I actually like everything that is Tolkien related. And in that vein, one of the sites that I enjoyed visiting and get information from was the OneRing.net. This was a huge thing, really, for any Tolkien fan, simply because there was not really something that was created for fans by the same fans. The OneRing.net is exactly that. It started around 1999, maybe 2000, when the Lord of the Rings trilogy by Peter Jackson was being filmed, and they had access to the set, they were invited, they had events. So this was something not only popular, but huge, and in those times when Tolkien was not that very well known by the majority of the people, maybe it was something of a niche, but it was still very popular. Even that creation of the OneRing.net allowed for even, let's say, more display of the work that Tolkien created, more exhibition, more promotion. And the OneRing.net, for the better part of these 20-something years that they have been active, they had cordial relationships with the fans. You could even consider them an institution. They had inside information, they had the latest news. Nothing could go wrong, right? Until Pride Month in 2021, when they have just gone completely nuts. We're going to analyze the tweets that they have posted in these very first days of Pride Month, trying to attack the fans in that they are calling them ists and fauves, of course, because of their opinions. If they don't like the Amazon series or whatever we have been let know about this series in particular, even if it's something really small, if you don't like it, then you are an ist and a fauve, and they are playing the victim card on behalf of the rainbow community and the rainbow actors that we have had inside the Lord of the Rings films and the Hobbit films as well. And the first tweet that we are going to analyze is the following from the OneRing.net. Quote, "Listen, we have been dealing with homophobic comments for decades and it's still wrong. I am going to start here the analysis by asking you, the OneRing.net, what homophobic comments for decades are you talking about? For decades, that means like 20 years in your case, so only 2 decades. You have had cordial relationships with fans. Never once, not even once in all those 20-something years have you ever called out any fan for any homophobic comments or any of those things that you are saying now fans are doing. Not even once. You have never called anyone out. You have never denounced any sort of behavior that might be questionable. Not even once. So what exactly are you talking about? The tweet continues. Whatever toxic arguments are being said now about Lord of the Rings fandom and adaptations is the same trash that said Ian McKellen was the worst affront to Tolkien's legacy ever. And once again, where do you get this information from? Where was it stated that Ian McKellen, Sir Ian McKellen, if you don't mind, was derided or was not welcomed by the fandom? Now, they think that they are so clever, right, that they just shared part of Sir Ian McKellen's blog in 2000, where he talks about how chat rooms are a hateful thing and they are filled with some trolls that dislike the fact that there's a gay actor playing Gandalf. It's a comment from more than 20 years ago, and it's only one comment. The fandom at large has never ever even said something negative about Sir Ian McKellen or his performance. If anything, he has been praised time and time again, and he has become one of the fan favorites out there. Of all the cast, I believe that he is the dearest, maybe in close proximity to Christopher Lee, because I have seen lots of love also for how he played Saruman. And another thing also to consider is the superb acting skills that Sir Ian McKellen has to portray Gandalf. He is Gandalf. We all know that Sean Connery was offered the role, but in truth we can say that this role belongs to Sir Ian McKellen. There is nowhere where you can find any negative comments from fans about McKellen's performance. So where this is coming from, I don't know. And also, those homophobic comments that have been going on for decades, well, every time that the OneRing.net is asked about it, they share the same post. Sir Ian McKellen's blog from 2000. One or two people angry, or maybe even just trying to mess with him during a chat room, does not really mean fan hatred, or does not really mean that the fandom at large hates Sir Ian McKellen. This is reaching, and this is trying to virtue signal from your part, the OneRing.net, during this Pride Month. And if you do not believe me, just look at the other. It was a thread, but I am not going to read some of the tweets that they produced, because they are going more about the community, like Twitter and chat rooms and all that. But after that, they said the following quote: "If you still think Ian McKellen is the worst and that Catholic Tolkien would have never approved, I beg you to read more of Tolkien's books and letters. He was woke, stood against hate, embraced all cultures in life and fiction. It's why his books are translated in every language. Please point the OneRing.net where you get your information." I have read the letters by J.R.R. Tolkien, Humphrey Carpenter, and nowhere have I ever seen any woke from Tolkien. How can you even say that he was woke when this term didn't even exist when he was around? It's stupid, and once again, reaching and trying to suit situations that happened within Tolkien's lifetime to suit your agenda. Why do I say this? Because we all know how he reacted when he was asked by the Nazi Germany whether he was of Aryan descent, so that they could publish a German translation to The Hobbit during the 1930s. We all know that. We are well aware of that. We also know how embracing and welcoming he was of diversity, but that doesn't make him woke. And especially in terms of what woke means today, meaning leftist deranged weirdos attacking others for having different opinions, I should say that Tolkien is as far from that as it can be. And talking about Sir Ian McKellen once again, that you are saying that he is the worst that happened to the Lord of the Rings. I don't even know where you're getting this, the OneRing.net. But you are trying to reach so much that you are just going to break your arm. Really. This is so far-fetched and idiotic to so many levels of the stupidity scale that I can't really believe that this is coming from the very same people that started the OneRing.net. It really is not possible. If you look at the OneRing.net before this, and then you look at this, you would really be thinking that they are different people behind it. And to top it all up, two more tweets that we are going to continue analyzing and responding to. One of them says, quote, "If you think Ian McKellen gets a pass, but whatever Amazon is doing is a disgrace to Tolkien, please think more on your personal bias before tweeting." So now you are throwing Sir Ian McKellen under the bus. Now you are saying that those who accept Sir Ian McKellen as Gandalf and have no problem with him being gay in real life are wrong, or they are in some way, shape or form doing something wrong. What the hell is your problem, the OneRing.net? What the fuck has happened to this site? What has happened to those quote-unquote fans that were always in the know, were trying to provide other fans with the best and latest information, and had the best and the most cordial of relationships? Where is that place? Where are those people? What have you done with them? They are not longer there because I don't see any cordiality in this exchange. And it continues, quote, our blog button is very active. Yeah, you don't say. That is the most mature, best response to criticism and also to discussion. You are trying to discuss, or are you just trying to virtue signal for the sake of virtue signaling? And it continues, and if you retweet, enable toxic voices in the name of your free speech, you do not love Tolkien. What the fuck are you talking about? This is completely deranged. It's utter stupidity, and I really can't believe that this is coming from the same site that for years, had a cordial relationship with fans. Yet here we are. And let me tell you something. Once again, if you, the OneRing.net, are knowledgeable and well aware of all of this hatred and vitriol that you are saying exists within the fandom, why, number one, have you not quit that fandom? And two, not called it out in all of those years that you have been active? The next tweet that we are going to analyze and respond to says the following, quote, #Pride gives us some of the greatest performances beyond all expectations, end quote. No. It is nothing to do with pride. It has nothing to do with being or not being gay. Far from it. These great performances don't come from whether the person was gay or not, but from the craft, the natural talent, and the years of experience. In case you didn't know, Sir Ian McKellen is one of the greatest Shakespearean actors out there. He has lots of experience in the theatre business, and he also has experience in movies. And he has a lot of experience, years of experience, I mean. That coupled with his natural talent, his charisma, and the magnetism that he pulls when the camera is rolling, alongside his well thought out, practiced, and a very tuned craftsmanship when acting, that's what gives us great acting. Nothing to do with him being gay or not. This is, again, reaching. If you think this is not virtue signaling on the part of the OneRing.net, when they are asked what they are trying to do with this virtue signaling, when they are told that it seems like they are just seeking internet clout, that they are trying to market once again Pride Month and all that, when they are told different things in their behavior, they just say, okay, well, just to say that you don't believe victims and move on. Just to say that you are an Istanophobe and move on. So what are you really trying to do? Are you really trying to raise conversation, to start conversation on these topics? Or are you just trying to virtue signal and become yourselves victims of abuse and harassment? Of course fans went after them. Of course fans didn't like what they saw from the OneRing.net. What were you expecting in reality, the OneRing.net? That everyone agreed with your idiotic agenda? That was never going to happen. Not even once. Once again, this only feels as trying to take advantage of something that is happening in reality, in society, or whatever. Something from the real world. Something that people can use to either market, as we can see with all those companies now using the pride flag everywhere to say that they are welcoming of them. And maybe this is yet another attempt at a virtue signaling on the part of, in this case, the OneRing.net. This is why you fail. What in the ever-loving Gollum are you doing, you pieces of crap? This is completely idiotic. It doesn't sit well with me, and I have seen that it doesn't sit well with fans. Please stop. You are embarrassing yourselves. And it's really not a nice look. It's pathetic, and you should stop it immediately. If fans don't like the Lord of the Rings Amazon series, or they have concerns, they are legitimate because of what we have of information coming from this. The potential nudity, the potential sex scenes, this is something real. It's not in anyone's imagination, and they have a right to be concerned. Nothing of hatred there. You are just reaching the OneRing.net. Please stop. There is really no curse in Entish, Elvish, or the tongues of men that can describe the level of stupidity that you are managing here. Please stop it. And everyone, if you agree or if you disagree, just let me know in the comments down below. Until next time, everyone, please stay safe. Peace out.